It's always like, is this thing on? That's the first thing I literally think of each week. Hello, good morning. It's 10 o'clock. It's Wednesday, and this is not making me happy, but it's great to be back after missing last week. If you are here and you can see me, you can hear me, please confirm by putting that in the chat, and I will say hey to the folks that are there. It's great to see the folks in the chat already. I see Margaret and Keith and Chris and Sue. What's up? How's it going? Smash the thing because it makes me feel good and fuzzy, and that's pretty much the only reason to smash the like button anymore. There is Jay-Z. Holy cow. Jay-Z Electronic Earnings is here because you are now in the UK, which means you can catch the live streams, which is a side benefit of your move, your return from Australia. Loud and clear. There is Sabina. All of the regulars dropping in. I'm excited to talk with everybody because I missed last week. And I didn't get my fix last week. Although I will have to tell you about my hike is pretty hilarious. There is Joan. This is the first time I have seen Joan. What's going on? I also wanted to shout out some folks in the MEGA spreadsheet. There's some new folks in there this week. Specifically, I wanted to shout out Eric. I know a couple of Erics, but if this is a new Eric, and Eric, if you happen to be either on the stream or catching us on the replay, please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you and what's going on. Eric has jumped into the MEGA group. He says, I'm new here, and then has immediately jumped in and started producing content, which is really cool. And it's very motivating to have another person come in the group and just come in and do a bunch of work, because then I feel, I don't want to say maybe motivated is not the right word. Intimidated. No, that's not the right word. Shamed for not getting as much stuff done. Then I want to go and try to get stuff done to catch up. Sabina says, I will not actually be here, unfortunately, but I will catch the replay. Well, woman, I am glad that you dropped in to say hello. What's going on? I can see from the spreadsheet, it looks like you have been working and that the new site is exciting and interesting. And I'm excited to hear more about it as it comes on. Tortoise Cash Flow. Anthony, I have it on my list to watch your video update about Carl's site, the site that you bought and how that's going. It's been in my queue for a while, and that will probably be today. I'm excited to go and watch it. Sabina says, I do have a question. A lady in a Facebook group is selling a few websites for a few $100s. Should I consider this? They have a bit of content. She says no traffic, no ads on them at all. I would say it depends. Sometimes getting sites out of Facebook groups, especially if the domain is older, can be good, especially if it's in a niche that you already want and you know that everything is clean. And I just probably wouldn't pay that much for them. You say, okay, well, how old is it? If the site is only a couple of months old, then does buying the site save you maybe time? I don't know, just because somebody has a site and selling it doesn't mean that you're like, yeah, I should buy it, or I shouldn't. There's more to it than that. It's like, will it really help you in some way? And I will certainly kick that to the chat if anybody else has some thoughts about it. I think I need to know more information about the sites and what you are planning to use them for, and what sort of due diligence you have done to make sure that those sites are, I put up my air quotes, clean and in good standing, and make it a good investment. So that's what I think. Jay-Z, John, I'm in the UK now, living with the in-laws. Now that sounds awesome. Graham, if you want to chat with me, you are totally free. And if you have emailed me or reached out to me already, please tell me, because I owe you. You won the prize for the month 8 video. And so if I, for some reason, have not emailed you back, it's because I haven't been on my email the last 2 days. And so you need to get a hold of me. There is Alexander. What's going on? Thanks for leaving a comment on my video. I saw it this morning. John Morphus, thanks for dropping in. And D, it's like all the friends are here. It's like walking into the bar and all your friends going, hey. It's pretty cool. I saw early on in the chat people talking about affiliate gathering. And yes, my name is attached to it. And I will just say straight out before anybody goes and buys a ticket because of me, And I don't know why anybody would, but this is all COVID dependent, right? I cannot guarantee that I will show up on this date in the future because if the borders are closed and the US is like zombie apocalypse, I won't actually physically be able to get there. But I do think it would be really cool to be able to be there and to meet all of my friends that I have talked to for going on years now that I don't even know what these people look like or sound like. I've never seen them. I've never spoken to them in person. So it will be cool. I did finally get my affiliate link. So for those of you who like, I really want to use your affiliate link. First of all, thank you. And second, you can use my link that is in the description. I don't even know what the percentage is. I'm not gonna I'm the whole point of doing this isn't really for me to make money off of it, but I would not be sad if you use my affiliate link. Let's see. Sabina says, I'm sad to see but not hear you all. I am at work administering state standardized tests. So then I feel like I need to write write messages to Sabina like, we love you. See? That's for Sabina. I wonder what she couldn't hear any of this stuff, and so she sees me doing this, and she's like, "What is happening?" Key says, going back to the question about Facebook, buying websites off of Facebook, he says it could be an option to purchase the site for their content. If it's good content and not plagiarized, buying for 1 cent a word might be a great deal. Even if it was 2 cents a word, it might be a great deal. Like I said, I think I think there just is more that needs to be thrown into this hypothetical question than just, is it okay to buy sites from Facebook? And the answer is generally yes, but it can be yes, but. D wants to know, if I make it, will I be trying a Yorkshire pudding? It sounds delicious, but a pudding seems like bread. I still don't understand what makes it a pudding, because over here pudding is like some gloppy thing, and so a Yorkshire pudding, it really looks like bread. And I don't see any reason why I wouldn't try this delicious bread thing, right? So the answer is possibly. If I was there in York and somebody offered me a Yorkshire pudding, then I would be silly not to try it. I mean, it's bread. Jesse says, yeah, the meetup sounds cool. I'd like to go to one in the US. Well, that may be something that is in the works in the future, but probably not before the one in May 2022. Keith says, COVID dependent. What are you planning to present on? Well, first of all, I'm not sure exactly. Most likely, regardless of what I would talk about, any presentation involving me would involve some arm waving and like silliness, because I mean, you see me here on live streams and you think that you've seen me like turn like the switch is on like performance mode, and then you see what happens when I'm actually in person, and this like really kind of shy like internal person is put in front of a group, and then I feel like I have to perform, and it goes to another level of, I don't know. The answer is I'm not sure yet. I wouldn't mind kicking it to the crowd though, what people think that I would be like best to talk about, because I think there's some things I'm probably better at talking about than others. Mostly, I think the thing that I talk about more than anything is how to keep going, right? How to be persistent and grit. The technical aspects of links and things, I will leave that to the experts. I don't know. I probably would just be there like entertainment, like the intermission between the people who know what they're talking about, and then they bring out a clown to like to be silly. I would just be like an like on brand in between entertainment, probably. Word is that Carl will be making tea for everyone at affiliate gatherings. So when you mean tea, you don't just mean the tea that you drink. You mean like a meal, like dinner. Savita says, I cannot wait to go to affiliate gathering. I think I'm going to do it as a solo travel adventure. And then Jay-Z says, I make the best Yorkshire puddings. Well, everybody has just heard the claim that John makes the best Yorkshire pudding. I think we should put that to the test. John says he bought a ticket with my affiliate link to the affiliate gathering. You are the best. He says, Margaret says, talk about fence post. I'm not even an expert. I just look at them out the window. That's just, there they are. Drinking buddies, fence posts. Is stop word play a big role in URL structure? Vera, thank you for bringing us back to what we were planning on talking about. And so what I need you to do is clarify the question. So is the stop word, I'm not sure what you mean. Help me out here. If anybody else understands what the question is, like, I just need more information to address that. D says, rocking the game without getting sucked into all the tools. Well, that's an option. That's certainly something that I could talk about. John says, tea is a drink. Alex says, affiliate gathering. Yes, so far, Alex, we have been talking about affiliate gathering, and people are planning on going and buying tickets. And I was wondering how many tickets there actually are, and whether or not, does anybody know how many tickets have been sold yet? Because that would create this, the what are the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like all of a sudden, everybody's bought all the tickets, and then how close the event is to selling out. I'd be super curious. Jesse says the affiliate summit is this November in Las Vegas, but it didn't really seem something I would like. I'm curious to see who is actually attending that. I'm actually curious because it's not that far from me, because I'm only, affiliate summit West versus East. They probably have it all over the place. It says November 2nd through the 4th. And apparently there's a north, south, east, west, etc. Farah says, like, the how, what, where, when is useful to use in our URL. For me, what I do is I just put in the keyword, whatever it is, and I don't worry about whether or not there's a the. I use them because if that's, my URLs are whatever the keyword is that people put in. Like if they typed in how to find a fence post, that's what I just put into my URL. Some people will do just fence post or how fence post. I just, I don't worry too much about it because I think Google knows, and I don't think that Google will choose one article over the other based upon how close the URL is, like a fence post versus like fence post. I don't think it matters to me personally, but other people who are experts might disagree with me, but that's what I think. I am just browsing. Let's see. Wow. The affiliate summit is using every single possible thing to keep me on the site, and they don't want me to escape. John wants to know, is Adam from Niche Website Builders lurking? Did themselves getting, I think, onto some sort of travel conveyance to go to Cyprus? So my guess is not. Chris says, I use plenty of stop words in my URLs, and I haven't seen any issues. Carl says 500 in-person tickets, unlimited online. So Carl, how many of the in-person tickets have been bought? Is anybody else curious? Because I'm super curious, and I would love to hear about it. Just like how it's going. How many of our friends are going to be there? Dee wants to know, Carl, what's for tea? And I also have the question, what is for tea? Because this stream would not be complete until someone got it out of Carl, what is for tea today. And then maybe with a link to the recipe, I don't know. Back to stop words. John says he hasn't had any issues and he has been doing it for years. Chris says, Jesse says, talking to Chris and Bara, says, same here. I use stop words in most of my URLs, and I try to keep URLs short, though. Carl says, can't stay, just wanted to say hi. Oh, dang. So I asked Carl about the tea. He probably bailed. And then, he says 30% of the tickets. So far, it's been a week and 30% of the in-person tickets have been sold. That's really cool. That's awesome. Love it. Carl says, can't stay and thumbs up the stream. Thank you. Graham says, I let WordPress decide on my URL based on the title. That is a strategy also. I usually am specific, and I use, whatever plugin that people are using. I use Rank Math now to change the URL slug, and I just change it to my keyword. Pretty much that's my strategy. Savina says, are you changing slugs and is it working? Good question. D says, wow, I thought it would have been more than 30%. I think 30% so far, based upon what we know and don't know about next year, I think 30% is pretty good myself. There's still plenty of time. Like very like it's just been announced. Like there's this community is so small overall that I think that's great. Yeah. 30% in 48 hours, I think is pretty darn good. Really. D says, do people not know what gold this is going to be? Clearly not. Otherwise, they would have bought the ticket. As far as dinner goes, I mean, tea, Carl says he's making pasta. So is it just pasta or are there things on it? People want to know. Brian Lowry, what's going on, Brian? How are you? I feel like we haven't seen you or talked to you in quite some time. Bara says, so now you are using Generate Press and Popcorn. What is your opinion? Which one is best in your opinion? Well, I will say that in the future, when I start a new site, that I'm going to use Popcorn. And that's not because anybody has paid me to say that or all the rest. I honestly found it easier to get it set up and to get going, primarily because it sets up the homepage for me in a way that I like. Like it normally what I have to do with Generate Press is set the site up and then actually go and design the homepage and actually put the blocks and like do this here and do this here. And Popcorn, that is all there for me. And it actually saves me quite a bit of time and also some of the other add-ins that normally I would have to go and get plugins for, like the just to put in the little like attractive related post like things at the bottom, and then it allows me to easily, and I know other themes do this, but to put a featured image in the post, but disable it, but have it show up elsewhere and in the right sizes and things. I just really like where the design things are going. And I also like that it's a product that is being created and sold in our community. And I would much rather spend money on Popcorn than I would on Generate Press, and especially because it works for me better. So you'll see me so I'm planning on starting a new site in January, and then you'll see whether or not I actually follow through on this. I'm planning on putting Popcorn on the site in January, and I haven't decided what the site is going to be yet. So don't get excited. Like, what's the niche going to be? Like, I have no idea. I just know that I'm going to start 2 sites a year, and I'm going to put Popcorn on it. So there. I mean, as far as like what's best, I just like it right now. Is it better in every way? I don't know yet. I've only been using it a couple months, but I mean, take it for what it is. Keith says that it's impressive that you've sold 30% of the tickets already. Ricky just announced to Income School, so that should help sales. I think it's really cool that your connection to Ricky, that Ricky is going to come and be the headliner, and it would be a great opportunity to actually meet some other people in the community and be known to them. Brian says, missed the last 2 weeks. Well, you didn't miss last week because I also missed last week. I went on a non-technical mountain climb and I couldn't walk for like 3 days after that. He says he does more tech stuff, but I understand the power of this type of work as well. Absolutely. Keith says popcorn theme is easy to get up and running with. Yes, and I will say if Carl and Alex or even Phil are here, I am planning on doing a testimonial video here in the near future. I just haven't. It's been really hard to sit down and record YouTube lately, but I am liking it enough that I feel comfortable doing a testimonial video. I just need to get to it. D says, I've used both and prefer popcorn. Like Amelia says, less design is required and it's really intuitive. It's just so far what I see I like, and I don't see any reason to not use it, and it actually saved me time. So that's good for me. Jay-Z says, is this going to be an annual event if the first one is quite successful? I think there are some pretty darn big goals associated with affiliate gathering, and so I think the answer is probably yes, and it's probably going to be more than just in the UK, but I can't speak for Carl. Phil, Evan, there is our friend Phil. How's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Yes, annual event. About what I should talk about, fences and fencing. You know, I don't have a lot of skill as far as fencing. If anything, like I feel like my attempts to fence look more like swinging a magic wand. Like if I could just make my websites do what I wanted them to, like maybe I could present about that. Jesse says, same here. Going forward, I plan on starting 2 sites a year, as well as selling 2 sites a year. I've always done that, and this year I'm prepping 2 sites for sale next year. You know, the interesting thing about that, is that this conversation came up somewhere else. Is if you are selling sites maybe like sporadically, not all the time, versus selling sites every year, and how that is treated potentially as capital gains income versus like your regular old income, and how that can change potentially how those dollars are taxed. I definitely think it's worthwhile to have a chat with the CPA about selling things randomly, like once every 2 or 3 years versus every year, and how that could change your adjusted gross income when it comes tax time, especially as a self-employed entrepreneur. And I honestly hadn't thought about that until someone else brought it up. And friend, you know who you are. Thank you for that. Carl really has to go this time. And so he's really going to go. We'll catch you later, Carl. John says he's planning on using popcorn on his new case study website. Yeah, I would love to hear other people's opinions about popcorn. Vera wants to know my opinion about Keyword Chef, and this is one I'm going to have to kick to the chat because I have not had a chance to use it personally. I've heard many good things, and frankly, not one single person I've talked to about it has come to say anything bad about it. That doesn't mean that it's perfect, and it just people who are using it who are unhappy with it have not spoken to me. I've heard a lot of people who are using it and really like it, but I think it's just one of those things you should try yourself. Chris is wanting to know, and Carl is probably gone. He says, always in York or planning on taking this thing on the road. I think it should go on the road. But I mean, York would be cool too. I've never been to York. I mean, or Mexico is closer to me. Jesse says, yep, you are supposed to have an asset for at least a year, then you can be taxed as capital gains. Keith wants us to come to Montreal or Dublin. These are all cool places. I have not been yet. Like, it would be great. Dee says about Mexico, nailed it with Mexico, Tequila Sun, and affiliate marketing, the trifecta. John says that he likes Keyword Chef a lot. In Canada, Chris says it's not just the one-year test that determines capital gains. It's got to do with how regularly you sell websites. Yeah, I'm definitely not the expert on that, and that's when I say ask your accountant. Beryl wants to know when the podcast episodes are coming out, and that is for Chris, because I don't know. Graham says, I use Keyword Chef. It works really well for me. A few times I publish an article before bed and wake up with it in the SERPs. Yes, that almost never happens to me. Basically never. He says, Dublin is even more expensive than York. That is interesting. And Philip said, I didn't know there was a York in the UK. Wonder what it's like. Back to taxes. Jesse says, I'm not sure how that works in the US, but I'll ask my accountant. And then Keith says, it's all tax deductible as a business trip. John wants to know about Texas, and I would definitely throw in a vote for Texas. I think San Antonio is really awesome, and the food there is so good. Oh my God. I went to San Antonio with a friend, and literally what we did for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, literally for 4 days, is just went to places to eat. Like literally breakfast. This place is awesome. Lunch. I was pregnant at the time, so it didn't matter how much I ate, but literally that's all we did. And besides going to the Alamo, like we went to the Alamo and then ate for 4 days. That was what amazing experience. Oh my goodness. To business, guys. Has anybody else been following Customer Week with Ezoic? I have been following it, and I think there are a lot of people who understand what's going on, and there are also a lot of people who are confused. And I knew this was going to happen. That's why I was telling people to start paying attention to it, because they'll see alerts in their dashboards and they don't understand what it means to be at level this or level that. And so this is a good time if you have questions about it to throw it in here. I don't want to like belabor it. Like I'll let Zoic do their thing, but if people have questions or concerns, they're welcome to bring them up here, especially if they have no idea what I'm talking about. You're like, I have a Zoic and I don't know what the level thing is. Then I would tell you to go into your dashboard and look for the little and the thing to tell you about levels and start learning about it so you understand that. Chris says, Austin, I hear it's weird. You know, Portland is not very far from here, and people say that Portland is very like Austin. I would also put in a vote for Portland, but pretty much because it's really close to me. It would be just like a quick drive. Chris says, as far as his podcast, he's got several to release. I'm really just busy, and it's a side hobby. We'll try to get one out soon. Nashville, I hear Nashville is a really cool place to be, and it's not some place I have been yet. Austin is cray. I assume that means cray cray, like crazy. San Antonio is awesome. If I ever move to another location in Texas, that is where I would move to. Yeah, I would be so fat. There's no like polite way to say it. I love food so much and the food there is so amazing. I would not be recognizable because I would not be able to stop. Sarah, hey Sarah, how's it going? Nashville is great. You can come here to Florida beaches. Chris says, "Yeah, Nashville. I would hang out with my Australian buddy Keith Urban." Because Keith is just there. I bet you he's like busking. That's what they call it when they just sit like on the side of the road with their guitar and like try to earn money. I'm sure he's there and waiting for you to come by. Keith says, "I'm loving the gamification and feel of Ezoic levels." It's always interesting because you hear people's opinions about it. Some people are like, "Oh, this is terrible. Why do they need to change this? Like, why couldn't they put money into support or put money into like speeding up the technology?" And I don't know, guys. I gals, guys and gals. I don't work for Ezoic. I think they're trying really hard to make the experience overall better, and I do agree that I wish they would put more money into making support quicker and like better educated and knowledgeable and understanding. But I do think that what they're trying to do is they are trying to help the experience of the members. It's just not all of it is going to happen smoothly. Like there's always bumps as people change things. Graham says, "My earnings have literally multiplied by 2.5 since Monday." Is anybody else having a bump in RPM recently? I would be curious. Mine has been up the last couple of days, but I guess I never really thought about it being attributed to anything Ezoic had did as far as like my levels or anything else. But that would be interesting if that was the case. And I guess I will watch it to see if it dips down. Like normally for me, Sunday is the best day. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and pay attention to that now that I honestly hadn't even thought of it. Seacrest out. Jesse is out. Jesse, thanks for dropping in. It's always good to check in with you and chat. Graham says it's only $5. Hey, I'm still a person that thinks $5 is like a reasonable amount of money. And you laugh, you say, "Oh, $5, but there's a lot you can do with $5. Why would you waste $5?" Just saying. $5 is $5. Keith says, "We're approaching the end of Q3. That's probably the reason why earnings are up." Well, maybe. I mean, do we really know? I just know mine is like really like it goes like this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are kind of and then like Friday, Saturday, Sunday are I'm just looking forward to like fingers crossed, ad rates being normally like up for Q4 and not sort of skewed by what happened earlier in the year. Q1 was so weird this year. It should have been down low and lame, and that actually was fairly good. So let's just see what happens. So I was going to talk a little bit about tell like story time. Anybody else who is interested in story time about my trip last week on Wednesday. I took the day off and I did not stream, so I don't know if anybody missed me, but I missed you guys and gals very much. But I we went on a like non-technical mountain climb. Phil says he likes stories. All right, well then I'll feel better about it. And if you saw my community tab page, I did post a picture there. But in Oregon, there are lots of mountains that people climb here, and but most of them need technical experience, expertise. And so near Bend, which is a city that is a couple hours away from where I live, there's a handful of mountains that are all together, and there's a trio of them called the Three Sisters. There's the Middle Sister, North Sister, and South Sister. And the South Sister, the summit is around 10,000 feet of elevation, and it's something that a lot of people, amateurs like myself, will do because it's relatively non-technical and not that dangerous. Though people do die up there fairly regularly. I wouldn't say a lot of people every year, but it happens. So the approach is like we hiked in 2 miles on Wednesday, which I did not know this because I have been to that area before, and usually what it is like this slow rise, and then you get to the base of the mountain, and then it's kind of a hike straight up. But from where we came in, there was actually a little hill called like Devil's Pass or Devil's Hill or Devil's Mountain, and it was the devil. So this like initial like 2 to 3 mile hike into where we were going to camp literally turned into like this straight up like it was hard for me. It was, let's just say it was hot, and I was not expecting it to be that hard because I had planned for it to be like this gentle like incline because I'd hiked in over at Green Lakes before. And so I was very red faced and in good spirits, but I was huffing and puffing. And as I was going along, yeah, devil's stretch, I was going along. And honestly, I was thinking the whole way about this group, right? I literally was. I was thinking, how important is it to do hard things, right? I'm doing hard things. I'm out there like living my mantra, like I'm doing hard things. And one of the girls with us, because I had most of the water, she says, I can carry that for you. Like, your bag is really heavy. And it's like, one, you guys don't have enough water. And two, I committed to doing this. I'm going to see this through. I'll just be back here in the back. Everybody, just you go ahead. If I'm crying, just know that they're tears of joy. I'm having a good time. I said that. I was like, if I happen to cry on this trip at any point, please know I'm having a good time. Just ignore the tears. Sometimes that happens. But yeah, we made it and it was gorgeous. And some of the other girls went like skinny dipping in the lake, and I just didn't because I'm old. But the next day we got up at before the sunrise rose, and it was like what, 3 miles into the base, like where it was really climbing, which took like 2 hours to do because there was a lot of uphill. And then the last mile, so what happened is we're going along, and I'm hiking with my aunt who was a little bit older and going slow. And we were climbing up, and it was really rocky. And we see this, all we see is blue sky up there. And we think, this is the summit, right? We've been hiking for a long time. It's only a couple miles, and this is the summit, right? And I was joking. I was joking to everybody, and I said, wouldn't it be funny if we got to the top of this rise and there was more? And it turns out we got to the top, and there was so much more. In fact, it was like the hardest part, and it was another mile that just was so intimidating. I was literally kind of scared because it was the 30-mile-an-hour winds, and there's this like ice, like looks like a glacier with crevasses in, and it looked like you'd hike up and then like slip and fall off into it. And I was really intimidated, not gonna lie. And I was thinking of myself the whole way. It's like, it's important to do hard things. It's important to do hard things. I committed to this. I'm gonna see this through. I'm gonna like live this. So of course I'm the slowest, and everybody went ahead of me, and I was like, I'm just going to do it one step at a time. So I literally was like, for another 2 hours, and one of the ladies who was with us decided she was done. And so I was like, and I wanted to quit a couple times, and eventually got to the top, and it was awesome. And not because I was standing up on the top of the mountain, but because I decided that I was going to do it. And so I did it. And then my feet hurt like terribly on the way home because the slide down was really hard, and then the hoof out was really hard, and I almost cried at the end, but I carried my bag all the way to the car and then went and sat in the creek because my feet hurt so bad. Oh, Phil says, what do the people who quit do? Just wait for the people to come back? Yes and no. The gal in our group, who I totally respect, she said, this is enough for me. She waited for a while, and then she hiked down to another point that was more protected from the wind and the elements, and then we all hiked out together. But yeah, the two girls who were young and able went to the top, and so it was just me, like to the top, but how it is. So yeah, that was my experience. It was not always very fun. In fact, most of it was not that fun, but that's not why you do it, right? Websites, we don't do them because they're fun. It's because it's rewarding and it's worth it. And so had a lot of time to think, and I just saw parallels like along the way, like the whole way. Like if you just keep going, if you just keep going, sometimes you have to take a break, but you just keep going, you'll get there. It's like, this is so much like building websites. It really is. Anyway, saying hi to Eric, Income Grinders. Thanks for dropping in, Eric. It's good to see you, and some of the other folks in here. Keith says a good hike is great for the soul. Beryl says, I want to know the place name. This is the South Sister in Oregon in the United States. And we hiked from the Devil's Lake trailhead. So if you want to do the same exact hike and suffer as I did, we hiked the Devil's Lake trailhead to Moraine Lake, camped at Moraine Lake, and then did jumped on the Sisters Climbers Trail from there and back and out. So it was a good experience. Back to the chat. Jason asks, oh well, he's got dinner on, not tea, but dinner. Says he'll catch the replay. And folks, are we still doing the Drawing Board podcast? It was really good. The answer is yes, but it won't be regular. It is just when we feel like it, because we've got a lot of other stuff going on. And I have a podcast I'm neglecting, and I have a YouTube channel I'm neglecting. But that focus is showing a lot of fruit in my websites and projects, so I can't feel bad about it, although I do miss producing content for those other avenues because I really like them. It's just right now this is where the money is for me, and it's great to just put my time and effort into that. Dee says, so you're going to do the Yorkshire Three Peaks while you're here? I don't even know what, all I know is Yorkshire pudding. There are peaks, Yorkshire Three Peaks route. There are, I'm going to look at the images and see what there is. Oh, those look cool. They look kind of small though. The Three Peaks Challenge. So what is the height of these peaks? Did I just offend anybody by calling them small? I'm super curious now if anybody else has done them, and now I want to put it on my list. Oh man. Checking the chat again. A metaphor for life. Enjoy the process. Have a little break at work. Oh, fixes here. Oh my goodness. Stuart, I have not talked to you in so long. How are things? What is going on with you? Thanks for dropping in. Stiggs wants to know what is going on here. And friend, I would say if you had been here from the beginning, you would have heard me talk story about my hike. You would have heard us talk about affiliate gathering. We talked about Dezoic levels. We talked about popcorn. We said hi to Alex and Carl. All the celebrities are here now that Fix is here. So I feel pretty good. JC says, sorry, I had to do my daughter some spaghetti hoops. So do you call it the T or T? Is spaghetti hoops go with tea? I'm assuming. I don't know. Stiggs talks about hiking and said, yes, I went hiking last Wednesday. That is why we did not have the stream. I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't stream last Wednesday at all. And it's maybe second or third time this year that I missed a Wednesday stream. So it was a big deal for me to miss a stream, but I'm not sure if you noticed. That's all I'm saying. Fix says, it's been crazy this year, but things are becoming more manageable. How are you? Nice to hear that you were getting out for adventures. Yes, the year has been good, but to be honest, it's been exciting and difficult. Like right now, I'm in month 8.5 of my Miga site, and I'm tired. I'm tired of it, and I'm ready to let the shiny object syndrome take over. But I'm fighting it. I'm going to do 12 months in on one particular site, super focused, and not let myself get distracted by my podcast, by YouTube, by other things. But I really want to be. I really want to be distracted. And so maybe 2022 will be the year that I systemize, that I really get into outsourcing and really find a way to free up more time for myself to be able to do those other things that I like so much, like doing more YouTube. I don't know how Sean Mars does so much YouTube. I have no idea, because if he's working on his sites a ton and then he has time to do YouTube videos, it takes me 4 hours to make a 8 to 10 minute video. I just don't know how people do their websites and produce so much content without help. I don't know. And then I watched Sean's, the first part of Sean's day in the life of a blogger video, and I thought mine would be so boring. On a day when I don't have the kids, a day in the life of me as a blogger is to roll out of bed, go straight to the coffee machine, get my coffee, come and sit here. I literally don't do anything else. I'm not in there oh, it's time to make some matcha. Here's how I make it. Now I'm off for a run. Oh, yep, come and check out the scenery with me. My day in the life video would be so boring. It would be literally me like this. That's like literally it. It would be the worst YouTube content ever. Like ever. Um, I did not go hiking with Niche Safari Chris. And besides, Chris is like, I discovered is quite tall. So I could totally think about like how hard it would be to record a video with Chris in person if we weren't sitting down and I wasn't on like a riser chair because it would be like either my face in like the middle of his chest or it would be his face in like the top of my head, like this part. So it's probably best that we do it on Zoom anyway. So Jay-Z calls meal times in the evening, he calls it dinner instead of tea. Eric bought his ticket to affiliate gathering. Well done. That is awesome. I think there's going to be a lot of fun people there, assuming that COVID doesn't shut it down. She does eat random stuff. Yes, well, kids do. So, how about Canada? Is anybody from Canada yet committed to coming to affiliate gathering? I do not know the answer to this, but I am curious. Dee says, so about the Yorkshire Peaks Challenge, it is 736 meters at the highest point, 25 miles, and 12 hours of walking. Nice rather than torture. That would be a wonderful hike, actually. Do people usually do that in one day? Like they start at like 4 in the morning and try to knock it out, or is it something that they camp along the way? Because I could see if I was carrying gear, that would make sense to spread it out because it'd be much harder to hike with a lot of gear. But I'm curious about it. Yes, focus. Yes, focusing is my mantra for 2021. Is not letting myself get distracted. John says you are doing better this month. Me personally, so far, I've managed to get more outsourced content posted, and that's just because I've decided to go ahead and invest more money in content. So we will have to see how that plays out in the end. Keith says my affiliate gathering talk is systems for 2022. I think there's like a big mental shift that has to happen when you take this whole website business thing as going from a hobby and like a side hustle to my job and my business. I really do think that there's a transition there that happens and is difficult because I wouldn't necessarily invest as much money into a side hustle or a hobby as I would if I was thinking of it as a business. And I'm deep in this transition right now. Like it's not been easy at all. Fix says a day in my life. Wake up, 9 to 5 remote job, evenings, private practice job, nighttime working on websites, and family time in between. I still think that there could be some interesting, like, little like vlog moments, like, hey, look at me doing this, or I'm on my way here. Mine is literally like the only time I get up is to go get something to eat or to drink and use the restroom. But I literally just will sit here. It's not good YouTube at all. Hey, Adrian, just landed. So, Adrian, as we know, has been in Italy and posted some really cool pictures on Facebook, which makes me super jealous because, especially the food, right? He's like posting all these cool pictures of, oh, I ate this and I ate this. I'm like, man, that is so cool. Robin, what's going on? So, that would be a unique video. It would probably just go viral. Oh my goodness. It would be unique. I maybe if I just did what Fix did with his like he commissioned some music, some like lo-fi beats, and then just pictures of me like working, like here's a day in the life, but it's really just me listening to music, and then you could work along with me because I don't think the video would have any other value whatsoever. Stig says, "Are you taking the tag-alongs to Carl's?" And I don't know the answer to that question yet. It really depends. And my personal in-person presence will also depend a lot upon COVID and what life looks like. It's so hard to plan, next month. It's hard to imagine being able to say, okay, I know what May is going to look like. So the answer is I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Chris says, now I'm wondering if you're really short. I'm short. I'm short. I put the camera up there, so you can't really see, but you can like see like the wastage area, like my waist is not long. Like it's I'm not tall. Just saying. And I don't like heels, so I'm like especially short. John says we need more sound effects. Yeah, the kids steal them. everybody. Like I have them and then the kids get them and they think they're cool and then they're like gone. I found a kazoo. Stiggs has been all about the kazoo. It's gone. I have to like hide them like the candy or the money. Keith wants to know how tall is Chris? D says most do it in one day. Some will camp in between them. So 25 miles in one day. You're just planning on really hoofing it. Really hoofing it. Do I drink instant coffee? Generally, no. But I don't mind doing it when I'm on the trail, like hiking. I will drink instant coffee. It was so weird when I'm traveling. Everybody drinks instant, and I just don't think of that as coffee. Like you take a spoon out of it and like stir it up in water. That's not coffee, but that's what it is. Gaz 419, been watching a few of the videos, but this is the first live stream. So Gaz, first thing you're going to need to do is give us a name that we can call you, because if I'm going to talk to you in the chat and like it's really hard to say Gaz 419, give us a name that we can use so we can get to know you. If you're planning on being here a lot, it would be great to know you. And also tell us about you. Like, are you working on sites? And like, are you ahead of us, behind us? Like, I want to know. Like, it'd be cool to get to know you. Fix says there's a young YouTuber that does 12-hour study streams almost daily. Just him fidgeting in a chair and a cat changing sleep positions. Really popular. You know, I saw a girl who did those too, and people would go to these things just to see what the cat was doing while she was studying. And like the chat was full of people like, where's the cat? And like, oh, look at the cat. And, you know, it's just, what do they call them? These Pomodoro like study things. I actually thought about making it was on my to-do list to do a YouTube channel with these, to think, is there money that could be made here using YouTube, like free audio just on repeat with like some sort of background, like me studying. But I honestly don't think I'm young enough or blonde enough to really make one of those work. How old are my tagalongs? My tagalongs are, by next year will be 9, 8, and 5. So not too small, but not too big either. Like a really fun age. Like I really love them. Um, let's see. Eric is putting the kids to bed, watching the replay later. Yes, it's always great for people even to drop in for a bit. Jay-Z says, if I can move house halfway around the world during a lockdown and a pandemic, I'm sure you can make the gathering. Well, the thing is that there's a lot more that goes into it than just getting on a plane, is all I'm saying. There's a lot going on over here. People are trying to get Gaz. Is Gary or Gareth? Now people are wondering. Proper name is Gareth. Well done. Follow most of the guys going to the York gathering. So then, Gareth, the question is, are you going to come along? Will you be indoctrinated enough by then to buy a ticket and come to affiliate gathering? The next visiting place for me. So you're asking, like, where's the next place that I would hike or the next place that I would go? That is a great question. I don't know. Phil says it's all about the cats. Yes, cats are awesome until you have to clean up after them, and then cats are gross. I do not like litter boxes. I don't like them. John says people make money off of those simple videos. They do. I think most of us overthink what needs to be done to make money on YouTube. I think I try way too hard to with bells and whistles, my sound effects. Then I probably need to, and I should just hit publish and be okay with it. Fix says 6'2" as well. Chris must have admitted somewhere. Oh, there he is. He says 6'2". Pretty normal, I think. That's normal for a tall person. When you're a short person, that's tall. Just saying, it's like, hello, how's it going? And you know, like tall people can just see more than I can. It just like I'm constantly like, what's up there? I can't reach that. Fix is also 6'2". You know, Stuart, I did not ever picture you as tall. And I think the reason is that I always see people like on this part on the YouTube, right? So I never think of you guys as like as tall as you are in real life. So I really have no idea how tall or short anybody is. I always picture you guys about the same height as me, which I think is probably wrong. Thomasina the cat came to the UK from Australia too. That is awesome. I'm glad she could. D says young enough or blonde enough. It's true. I'm old and not blonde, and I don't see any of those things changing anytime soon. D says, will there be Amelia merch tees that we can all wear to the gathering? The question is what should it say? Tell them what you told them. That could be like my mantra is just tell them like apostrophe em, like tell them again, or like, or just tell them. I got to figure out what my like catchphrase is, like my brand catchphrase is. Tell them again. Tell them what you told them. I don't know. It's probably somebody else has got it copyrighted for a T-shirt, but I don't know. Somebody else has a suggestion. I'm totally open to hearing it. Gareth says, I launched my first proper site 3 weeks ago. Woo. I'm going to pat myself on the back for you, my friend, because you're not there in person, but I think that is awesome. And I am so happy to like, you have joined us in this like obsessively awesome business. It's great. Congratulations. Everybody else, if you're in the chat, like, let's applaud this new fellow joining us. Stig says, did you see the video posted in the community tab? Reminded me of Anthony and you. I don't know which video, not in my community tab. The only thing I posted recently is about my hike. Was there something on the browse page? Now you have to tell me more. Gaz says it's 400 page views in the first 3 weeks normal. Here's what I would do is I would check to see if you can see how many of those users are first-time users or first-time visitors. What I normally see in the first month or so is the first month to 2 months is the bots hit it. Like the bots all scan it. So there'll be like 2 visitors, 2 visitors, 2 visitors, and then one day of like 500, and then just going on and on and on. So if the traffic is like steadily going up like this, I'd say that's normal. If you had like one post that maybe got some traffic either from social media or got picked up maybe by a news outlet, that's normal. But if you cannot see the origin of that traffic anywhere in your traffic acquisitions tab with Google Analytics, then I would wonder if that's bot traffic. Like my most recent site that I started, my fight site that I started in July, had one day where it got 600 page views. And then after that is like back to 1 or 2 visitors a day. So if it looks like that, like 1 visitor, no visitor, 1 visitor, no visitor, and then a big spike and then back to that, I think that's bot traffic. And that's normal. And there's nothing really that you can do to stop that in most cases. But you have to tell me more about that. John says, save it for the fence post. I heart fences. JC's got to go. We'll talk to you soon, friends. Thanks for dropping in. Robin says, probably hair color can change even if it's not from a bottle. Nature can make it gray. I have been blonde before. I don't recommend it for myself, folks. Let's just say there are photos out there. And I wouldn't say I regret it. It was a good experience, but blonde, I am much better as a brunette. D says, not young enough or blonde enough. Now you got to say. I should get like young with like the just a circle with the big line through it, like blonde. Like nothing against young people or blonde people, they're great. I'm just not one of them. Sarah's only 4'11". I never grew. Well, you pack a lot of stuff into small packages, like a lot of power in a small package. Yes, Gareth, like starting a new site is amazing. I am in my own niche. That's right. Turns out you don't have to be young or blonde to succeed in YouTube. And I am firmly happy with my progress. Well, almost. Because if you'll remember back in January, I said I was going to get my main channel to 10,000 subscribers in 1 year. And I will be lucky if we get halfway there. I think I might get closer to like 4,500. Maybe 5,000, but probably 4,500 is where it's going to go. And I'm just going to be okay with feeling good about it. I am, considering how long it took me to get to 100. It took me a whole year to get to 100. So getting to almost 5,000, I'm just going to feel good about that. I am. Let's see. You might have started a trend. Yes, your tab. Sorry, I just checked this channel. Sorry, the discussion tab. And I responded to it. What did you push? Did you put the video that you put in my discussion tab? So not just like posted it, but you posted it in the comments. You posted, Stigs, you posted the video that is I think the dude pretending to speak while riding a motorcycle, going on about Biden and like the news, and then he just went on about telling him what he told him and proving once and for all that that was not my own idea, but also it was just this random like political ranting. Thanks for that. Google Analytics says 29 new users. Yeah, friend Gareth, I think that your traffic spike was probably bots, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong. It just means that that happened, and it it shouldn't do that all that often again. It will occasionally, but it just happens with a new site. Graham says, before I forget, I mailed you on your channel's email regarding the Zoom session. Okay. Okay. I'm cool with that. I'm going to go and not look for that right now because I'll be distracted, but I'm going to go look for that. Says, yeah, he says your catchphrase. The rant was really mediocre, truly. And, just like it was more interesting to watch him like ride his motorcycle as he was going on. Like I sort of tuned him out. I mean, to me, it felt a little bit like mansplaining anyway, like telling me like, yeah, yeah, somebody telling me what he thinks. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Gareth says, phew, glad it's a good thing. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing or a good thing. I would just say it's normal. And it's not a sign that you've done anything wrong or bad. It's just that's something that happens. I mean, I can think of just about every site that I've started from scratch in the first month or two. Usually I see it right after I put ads on it. I usually don't see it in the first month. It's usually something that pops up right after I put ads, and I don't make any like extra money or anything. It's just there. Wow, is it already the top of the hour? I literally don't feel like I've talked about anything substantive. If you haven't caught my month 8 video for the Mega site, that is up. And for those of you who haven't watched it yet, I got into the 40,000 page view like area, which I'm really excited about. I wasn't sure it was going to happen. But I'm really, really close to getting over 50,000 page views for the last 30 days, and I'm super jazzed about it. And I just hope that the site keeps going like this. So, not to be sort of like teasing month 9, but I'm really teasing month 9 because I really think this is going to be a good month, and I'm excited about it. Bara says, yes, excited about Mediavine. Now, here's the thing: even if in the first year, if I meet the Mediavine requirements, I'm going to wait because I've heard that Mediavine and some of the ad networks too aren't really excited about sites that are under 1 year. So I don't want to go through all the work of applying and having it get rejected and like having a waiting period to apply again. I'm just going to wait, but I will be excited to be able to check the box to say that I meet the Mediavine requirements and how many months that I was able to get there, just as a, I guess as a, just as something to work towards again, right? So the next time I start, I said, okay, I made it to Mediavine requirements in 11 months or in 12 months. Like, could I get there again and just establish like here's my base progress, and can I feel good about it, or what's different, and maybe why some sites might get there sooner or slower. I mean, I don't expect the fight site to get this far this fast just because I can't put as much content up there. So we'll see how it goes. Fix says month 9, 50,000 page views guaranteed. I have to think that that is going to happen. Last time I checked this morning, and the last 30 days, I think, was just over 48,000 page views. So I still have 2 weeks to go to get there. So I think 50,000 page views is going to happen. In the back of my mind, I was really hoping that I would be able to get to 50,000 sessions by the end of month 9, but I think I'm going to be short. I think right now I'm only around 42,000, and 8,000 sessions between now and the end of the month, I think is going to be really hard to get there. D says, amazing results. Cannot wait to see month 9 updates. Me either. I got to tell you, I'm really excited about going into Q4, and which is the joy of starting a site in Q1, because then hopefully you have traffic by Q4 and get to take advantage of high RPMs. So I'm like fingers crossed that the RPMs will just be amazing and I will make a bunch of money because that's why I'm doing this and it's fun. John says, question I almost forgot. Would a paranormal site be able to monetize with ads? I think so, yes. As long as you're not promoting things that would be banned or like selling something or promoting things. Like I think people toe the line when they go down the road of like telling people or teaching people how to do things that maybe are up in the air about whether or not it's possible, like like communing with ghosts and things. I think that most ad networks, as long as it's like informational, is probably going to be okay. Although ad networks like Mediavine, like they actually show the websites to their advertisers, and their advertisers will have a chance to look for them and through them and at them. Some of these companies are religious organizations, and so they might look at a paranormal site as like not being compatible with their beliefs and values, and so they might choose not to vote for that site to be included in the program because they wouldn't want their ads on there. But I think in general, though, as long as you're not trying to sell snake oil in some way, the answer is probably yes. But I mean, I don't see any reason not to if you're on the up and up, in my opinion. Stig says The Hero's Journey by Amelia Joseph Campbell Gardner. Beraz says post number to the date. So how many posts do we have so far? I have 325 posts on the Mega site right now, I'm pretty sure, and the goal is to get to 500. I have another 10 to 20 to do for the Mega site for this month, so I'm going to hopefully get ahead of myself in case I have some bad months coming in towards the holidays. The Mega site is impressive. Congrats. I feel good. I feel good about it, right? You say, okay, can I do this again? I mean, that will be the real test, right? It's not going to happen with the fight site because there's only 15 posts going on it per month for the next 15 months. But I'm okay with that because it prevents me from getting distracted from the Mega site, which I need to ride it out. I need to ride it out. John says informational, and I think the answer is probably it's okay. I think so. I mean, you see all kinds of stuff being monetized that, as long as it doesn't specifically violate any of their terms of prohibited contact, drinking, drugs, alcohol. I think misrepresenting facts is a big one now. You say, oh, what do you mean? But like telling people things specifically that are not true. But with paranormal, I mean, it's such an interesting topic. It's not political. So, I mean, my gut says I think it will be fine for now, but fab progress, yes. Dee wants to know, when is the update out for the fight site? And the goal was to have it ready to go this week, and I haven't recorded it. My guess is I probably won't record it until next week. So probably about a week and a half. I mean, I don't have like exciting things to report, but progress is progress. I did promise more punching in this video. So if any of you, if you are planning on showing up for anything in particular on the next fight site update, I promised to include more videos of me looking ridiculous punching at the air. I promise. I promise it will include that. And if you're going to watch it for anything, include it for that. Remind me what the Mega site is. The Mega site is a case study that I am updating monthly here on YouTube. And if you are interested in it, the playlist is on my main channel page. And every month I just update, and I just started a site from scratch. And we're calling it the Mega site because I invited other people from this community to start sites with us at the same time. And we all are working from, not all of us, but some of us are working from a Google sheet that we just each and every month go in and put in our goals for our sites for the month, and then just share, daily or every other day what our progress is and how that is going. And people come and go from the Mega spreadsheet. But if you're interested, the link is in the description. People can join anytime, mid-month, beginning of the month, whatever. It's just another way to be surrounded by people who are like-minded, who are interested in building these types of digital properties. I mean, and other people who do YouTube pop in sometimes and they go. But yeah, no, the Mega site is just referencing the site that is in the playlist. And again, if you want to check it out, it's on the main page in my videos. Stig says, how many posts per month are you churning out total across all your sites? It depends, probably between 50 and 80. It just goes up and down depending. Stig says, yes, I only watch for the punching. You got to add value where you can add value. And sometimes that's just where it is. John joined the sheet. Graham says, I'll join too. Yep, you guys are always welcome to come in. I mean, sometimes it's quiet in there. Sometimes Some people are working harder than others. Sometimes people join in, Adrian, to tell us they're going to be on vacation for the whole month, and the rest of us can only drool and be jealous. But still, it's cool to see because people will post like little milestones or updates or ask questions, and it's just a nice place. It's like hanging out around the water cooler. Keith says, anybody else's heart skip a beat when an email comes in from Amazon with the subject upcoming program operating agreement update? Me, the answer is no, because I make very little of my money from Amazon. So when they send those emails, I'm like, "Nyeh." Now, if that came from one of the ad networks and they were telling me they were going to do something with my ad earnings, then yes, I would probably join you. But for now, I don't care. Fix says, LOL, that literally just happened. I keep expecting 1%. I just got that email. Yes, every time. Well, I am looking at the clock. Holy cow, it is already top of the hour. I am over. Folks, it has been great speaking with you. And for the new folks, Gareth especially, it's been great talking to you. Eric, if you catch us on the replay, please tell us how it was going. Adam Smith from Niche Website Builders, if you are lurking in this on the replay, we know that you were there, and please leave a comment. Thank you so much to John and Bara and Chris and Fix and folks who dropped in earlier, Dee and Phil and Jay-Z, and Anthony, who is listening to this and working right now. It's always fun to catch up with you guys, and Eric and Stiggs and Jason, everybody. I look forward to talking with you and hearing how it goes between now and next week. I really hope that I will have some good progress to report. And thank you so much for motivating me and being here with me every week. It's such a pleasure to speak with you. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next Wednesday. Talk to you. Oh, you'll see me. I won't see you. I'll just talk to you.